Hey, and welcome back to Live Lean TV. I'm Jessica Gouthro. Today I'm going to share with you all the do's and don'ts for the first trimester of pregnancy, how you should modify your workouts, what exercises to avoid, and then also some of the diet tips like how I dealt with morning sickness, what supplements I'm still taking and which I don't take, and all of that good stuff to update you about my current pregnancy with little Gouthro baby number 2. All right, so first of all, thank you guys, all of you, for the congrats. We've gotten so much love on our social media accounts. I know this is like the first time we're announcing it on our YouTube channel, so if you didn't know yet that we're pregnant with our second baby, now you know. The next baby is due this December of 2018. So Kyla and the next one will be 2.5 years apart. Now that the big news is out, I definitely want to share with you guys all of my fitness and nutrition tips to follow during pregnancy, because if you've been following us for a while, you saw I had a really amazing, great, smooth pregnancy with Kyla. Was really lucky to stay fit and healthy throughout the whole thing. And I learned a lot of things about what should and shouldn't be done during pregnancy. And I wrote a whole program called Live Lean Pregnancy. And so all of the information I learned with my first pregnancy is in that program. But you know, they always say every pregnancy is different, so I'm sure there will be some different things this time around. And this first trimester has been actually a little different for me. So I'll share with you some of the new and unexpected things I've been dealing with. So the first thing, and this is one I get a lot of questions about, is morning sickness. Like, my morning sickness this time around was way worse than it was with Kyla. Like, when I was pregnant with her, I could remember maybe 2 weeks during that first trimester where I had food aversions, where smelling food would make me nauseous. This time around, it was more than 2 months of that. I think it was like 9 or 10 weeks total. Any smell, whether it was food or just someone's perfume or cigarette smoke or anything, would make me feel like I needed to throw up. I never actually did throw up, but I just felt like I needed to every single morning. What I did to handle that was to get myself away from smells. So I would take Kyla and the dog Bruno and just go for long walks, like out in nature, and just avoid walking by restaurants or walking by anyone who's smoking, or you know, any, like, it sounds weird, but even people's like body odor would bother me because my sense of smell was so strong. So I would just like try to stay away from people and food and just only be in like wide open, breezy, airy spaces, and that helped me so much. But that was really tough, dealing with that kind of really sensitive sense of smell and just the feeling that you're gonna throw up all the time. But the good news is it did pass. One day I just kind of realized the smells weren't bothering me anymore and I was over it. And it's been about 2 weeks now since I've been over it. Yeah, it did make it hard for me to eat my normal meals. So I had a lot of skipped breakfasts that during that time. I just had no interest in food. I couldn't do it. I would sit there and look at a plate and just be like, I can't. And this was even sometimes at lunch and dinner as well. So I did have a lot of skipped meals. I did the best I could not to lose too much weight during that time. When I did feel like eating, I would try to eat extra, knowing that I was making up for missed meals and stuff like that, and try to go for more calorie dense meals instead of lighter meals, like whenever I could. But trust me guys, the struggle is real. It is really hard to keep your nutrition on point when you're sick and you don't feel any attraction to food. So for any mamas who are struggling with this right now, that's what I recommend for you, is just do the best you can with the situation you've got. Eat when you can eat, and you know, just try to get the calories in, because baby really needs calories at this point. So don't like worry too much or stress yourself out about keeping your diet super healthy and super fit and lean and everything. It's like, just eat what you can when you can, and you will be okay. You will get your body back and things will get back to normal afterwards. So the most important thing during pregnancy is not to stress out. Now, as for the supplements that I take and avoid during this time, I have a full complete list of what supplements I took and avoided during my first pregnancy. During this pregnancy, it looks pretty much exactly the same. I'm still taking a prenatal vitamin and a whey protein supplement, and the rest, I just get all my nutrients from food. So, you know, my diet is still primarily very healthy, and luckily I still do enjoy like a lot of vegetables and a lot of salads. One of my worst and like strongest food aversions was towards chicken. Like, all of a sudden, a few weeks after finding out I was pregnant, I just couldn't even look at chicken. I couldn't be in the same room with it. I was just like totally repulsed by it. It's past now, but it was just a few weeks where I just couldn't do chicken at all. So in order to keep my protein up, I started having more protein smoothies and getting my protein in a different way. Like I was fine with beef or turkey or, you know, other types of protein. I could even do like lamb meatballs or something, but I could not touch chicken with a 10-foot pole. It was the weirdest thing. I don't remember having that with when I was pregnant with Kyla, so that was just kind of like new and unusual. And I think that was the only one food that was just like a no-go for me. Including a protein supplement was a big help for me. So my favorite protein supplement during this time, and I've been trying a few different brands, like seeing what I like flavor-wise and what feels the best to my body. This one has been my definite favorite because the flavor is very mild. I really like the clean ingredient list. It's just super easy to dissolve. It mixes well with anything, even if you just shake it with water. And yeah, I just really like this one. So if you want to give this one a try, you could use my discount code right here and get 25% off your order. So it's a pretty good deal. And yes, protein supplements are very safe to take during pregnancy. Just think of it as dried milk. That's all it is. A lot of times people think that protein supplements are like steroids, but they're definitely not. It's just, you know, proteins derived from milk. So you can think of it as being no different from milk in a powdered form. So it's just a smoothie with a food ingredient. It's nothing crazy, chemical, or dangerous to you or the baby. But if you don't feel comfortable taking any protein supplements during your pregnancy, you don't have to, but you gotta get the protein in somehow. So for me, this was just the easiest and most doable way that I could manage to keep protein in my diet. I'm gonna show you this recipe I make, my post-workout shake. This is totally delicious, you guys, and one of my top sweet craving has been for like peanut butter cups, so like Reese's peanut butter cups. So this shake I make tastes like that, but it's much healthier. So I take 1 scoop of the whey and I put it in a cup with just water and ice, about 8 ounces of water and ice. Then I take a half of a frozen banana and put that in there. That adds like creaminess and a good smooth consistency. And since I'm out of peanut butter, I'm just gonna use almond butter, about a tablespoon of almond butter. Then I take about a tablespoon of mini chocolate chips. And that is gonna taste like dessert, baby. I love it, the baby loves it, everybody's happy. Mmm. So good, so good. Mmm. So my top food cravings during this time have been #1, cheese. For some reason, cheese in like all forms, well, except not like soft cheeses, but hard cheeses like Parmesan, mozzarella, cheddar, provolone, like I just want all of those right now. I don't know why. And so like every day I just need to have cheese on something, or even just sometimes eating it plain. And it's so weird to me because, as you guys probably know, we don't eat dairy in our household. We don't buy milk and cheese normally, or yogurt or anything like that, but during pregnancy, I just like have to have it. I remember when I was pregnant with Kyla, I had a milk craving, so I wanted milk with cereal, and then I had it, and then I got a total horrible sinus infection, but anyway, this time around it's been cheese, and so I've been eating cheese pretty much at least once a day. Yeah, I just basically swap it in for different fats, so instead of having avocado with my salad or something, I'll have cheese instead. So that's how I kind of make it fit my macros. The other craving I've been having is fruits. So summer fruits, things like mangoes, nectarines, watermelon, papayas, yeah, all kinds of like cherries, all kinds of summer fruits, which luckily it's summer right now, so they've been easy to find at the market. And so sometimes I just like eat a lot of fruit in one sitting. And so even though, you know, fruit is definitely high in carbs and it's not a free food, it is still the best thing to overeat on. If you're having a lot of sweet cravings, instead of diving into a box of Oreos, just dive into a whole watermelon. And for me, that's been like the best way to satisfy my urge to like really eat a lot of sweets. So make yourself this like really juicy bowl of fresh summer fruits, and it's just, this is way better for you than eating candy or Pop-Tarts or whatever else you're craving for something sweet. And avoiding the ice cream and making your own ice cream with like frozen bananas, things like that. That has been keeping me healthier and still allowing me to satisfy those really strong pregnancy cravings. All right, so that's enough talking about food and supplements and morning sickness and everything. What I really want to show you in this video is what exercises to avoid while you're pregnant, and then which ones to actually start including once you find out you're pregnant. These tips are ones that I'll continue to use throughout the entire pregnancy. They're not only for the first trimester, but it's important that you start making these changes as early on as possible. Even though you don't really see a lot of change in your belly, you're kind of training yourself for the future, like getting your mind used to what you should and shouldn't be doing in your workouts. Okay, so first of all, I just want to give you guys a sneak peek into my pregnancy workout guide. This is kind of what it looks like. There's a whole welcome guide explanation about what's gonna go on in the workout. You get to see like a little preview of what's in each trimester. It tells you kind of like what to expect. So first trimester is what I'm gonna be talking about today, weeks 4 through 11. When you're finding out you're pregnant, you're not showing yet, but you're super tired, dealing with nausea and sickness, you have to take it extra easy because there's a risk for miscarriage. So I am just past that. I'm at 13 weeks now, where the energy is coming back, workouts get harder, and then in the third trimester, you have a big old belly. There's some instructions on how to use the workouts, how to follow the schedule, where to click. Every workout page kind of looks like this, telling you exactly which movements to do, what the form looks like. And yeah, it's super easy to follow. Well, here we have the guidelines for the first trimester. What I recommend is 3 times per week strength training at the gym or at home using dumbbells. As for cardio training, I recommend daily 30 to 60 minute walks plus low intensity cardio types. No high intensity, although to be honest, I kind of break this rule myself because my body's very used to high intensity, so I've still been keeping up my HIIT workouts on the stairs during this time. But for someone who's not used to doing high intensity, this is much better for you. And then stretching and yoga, following a stretch routine at least 1 time per week. So the exercises I avoid and I don't do even during the first trimester of pregnancy are these ones. So anything like a plank, don't do planks. No forearm planks. No leg lifts. Like this, no. I really avoid doing like all core work. So anything that is a core exercise that directly tenses the muscles of the abdomen, I avoid, because the reason is abdominal separation is more common for female athletes and women whose abs are too strong during pregnancy and they're resisting the natural instinct to stretch. What you want to do is allow your belly to stretch, so relaxing those core muscles and just letting nature kind of make room for the growing baby. You don't want to keep things too tight at this time because expansion is necessary and inevitable. Don't fight the expansion of your belly. Relax your core muscles and soften. I know for some women, they don't want their core muscles to get weak or anything like that, so there are still some core exercises you can do that are safe for pregnancy, and that would be side planks. You can do these ones and work on the strength of your oblique muscles. You just don't want any tension on the center, your linea alba, which is the connective tissue in the center. You shouldn't worry too much about losing your core strength, because during the other exercises you're doing, any balancing exercises are helping you strengthen your core without putting direct tension on the ab muscles. Crunches are a no-go. Full sit-ups, don't do those. Nope. So of course your first trimester is the safest time to be doing these, but as your uterus is growing underneath, it becomes less and less safe to be doing core work, and you're more and more at risk for that tear. So I recommend for all women in their first trimester to just begin avoiding those exercises as soon as you know you're pregnant, and just make it a mental habit not to do those exercises anymore. And what I do personally is swap in like an arm or leg exercise anytime I find one of those in a program I'm following, or if I'm doing a group workout and other people are doing core work, I'll just do something else instead. And you can still do push-ups, just do them in a modified position, like so. You can do them like this. That's safe for your core. And if you still feel too much tension on the core, you can do them like this. Okay, so that's how you keep yourself active and still exercising, but minimizing the risk of having complications with your abdominal muscles later on. And here are some things I start including more of early on in the pregnancy and throughout the pregnancy. So the number one thing is a lot of hip stretches and wide squat exercises. So I'll do a lot of these, like frog stretch, where you're pressing your knees outward to help open up the inner thigh area and the groin muscles. because you want to have like good flexibility there to make space for baby coming out. So I do a lot of those, and then I'll even do these kind of twists. This is so good for the lower back. I feel a lot of mamas, especially as the weight grows in the front, you're gonna have a lot of pain in this lower back area. So taking this wide stance and then twisting like this is one of the safest lower back stretches and twists that you can do. So I do a lot of these. Another one I love, and this is one I learned in prenatal yoga, is to do pregnancy squats. So that means getting all the way down to the bottom as far as you can, of course without your heels lifting. And then you'll rotate right, open up your wingspan, and then come back to the middle, open up other side, come back to the center, and then from here, a straight vertical stand up. So don't lift your butt first, lift your shoulders first, so straight up. And then repeat, squat down, do your twist, other twist, and then straight vertical up. So those are some of the exercises I substitute for ab work. I'll do those instead of doing sit-ups or crunches. And then I also do a lot of foam rolling for the hips and lower back area, because the back pain is going to come, it's inevitable. So in order to prevent it, just keep massaging yourself as much as you can early on in the pregnancy. So just working into those muscles there, getting your lower back a little bit too, and you can do this throughout your entire pregnancy. So in my pregnancy fitness guide, of course, I give you cool downs to do at the end of each strength training session, because I do think it's so important for you to be stretching and cooling down your body after every workout, especially when you're pregnant, even when you're not though. But the stretch routines are really important, because some days I'll have you just do a stretch routine only, and that's for those days when you're feeling especially tight and really uncomfortable. Working out those hips and working on that lower back is so key to having you feel better throughout your entire pregnancy. And a mom who feels better is going to be a happier, less stressed, more relaxed mom, and it will just make the whole pregnancy go better for you. So highly recommend doing these stretches. Also avoiding that core work that you want to avoid so that you don't have to deal with tears after your baby is out. You want to keep those abs nice and together. So don't do any of that core work. That's my recommendation. That's what I did during my last pregnancy, and the results were great. I had no tears. So yeah, those are my recommendations. And of course, for more guidance, like go get the program, because you're gonna see full strength training workouts. It shows you every exercise that is safe for pregnancy. It doesn't include any of the ones that are not. So you won't have to navigate deciding which one's safe, which one's not. You just know you're following this program, everything is safe. So that's it for today's video. I hope this video was very helpful for you. And of course, if you want to try that protein that I've been loving, 25% off with the code. And this program is at liveleantv.com. I'll leave the link down below so you can get on board. It's a full pregnancy program. So all the way from finding out you're pregnant to delivery, it gives you workouts to follow. So it'll take you through the entire pregnancy start to finish. I can't wait to hear your pregnancy fitness success story, and let me know in the comment section if you have any questions about this video or about things you should avoid, anything you're unsure of during your pregnancy, let me know below. Thank you so much for watching, and keep living lean.